For all of my life, I have been considered and considered myself to be a creative person. My creative beginnings started with drawing as a young kid and exploded from there. Painting, sculpting, photography, creative writing, you name it, and I was interested in it. One thing I tended to stray away from was music. Not because I didn't enjoy music, I loved singing along to my Kids Bop albums. Thanks, Mom. But despite my parents getting my brother and I piano lessons, I simply showed much more interest in the physical arts and therefore was never encouraged to do music. My view changed when we learned how to play the recorder in 4th and 5th grade. Even though it was just a recorder, I was enthralled by the instrument and practiced every day. As such, I started to get good at playing it, which sounds silly because it was a recorder. How could someone be good or bad at it? But it's certainly possible, and I will always remember the day I learned this information. I was sitting in my kitchen in my childhood home, practicing my recorder, and my mom's friend, of whom I wasn't very fond of, compared to my mother, she was an extremely strict parent. And in fact, I think compared to most mothers, she could be considered very strict. So when she complimented you, you knew that compliment was real. She leaned over to me and said something to the effect of, "You know, you're not too bad at that. When most kids play, you can tell they're only doing it because they have to. I can tell you're passionate by the way you're playing." I was so starstruck. This filled me with an incredibly passionate fire that I can still remember to this day. And when it came time to sign up for band, I signed up for the flute. I remember everyone in my family telling me to just stick to what I know and practice clarinet, and that the flute was really difficult, but I stuck with my idea and I'm so glad I did. I took to flute like a duck to water, remembering the feeling of blowing into the flute for the first time ever and actually making noise with it, which, if you've never played flute before, is rather uncommon. Once again, I felt like a rock star and stuck to my guns, practicing flute every day as much as I possibly could. I played for 2 years, until one day one of my only friends at the time, the person who wanted me to play flute with her, my big supporter, got pulled out of school to be homeschooled by her single-parent starving artist mom. I was absolutely devastated, as not only did I not get to say goodbye to my friend, but the whole class started cheering once the teacher left. I was the only person my friend got along with. Everyone hated her and she hated everyone, except for me. So the class was having a party as I sat there, bawling my eyes out with a couple people I didn't even know comforting me. After this event, I dropped out of band. Hey guys, what's up? It's Emily. Okay, so today, I'm gonna show you how to put together a flute. Okay, so first of all, this is kind of the flute deconstructed in its case. Real fancy. So what you're gonna want to do is take this first part, and excuse me, it's been like a very, very long time since I learned about flute, played flute, did anything with flute, so I'm not gonna remember like any of the terminology. I'm sure these parts have names, but not gonna remember them. Okay, anyways, so yeah, you kind of take this first part, it's your little mouthpiece, you know, that kind of thing. And then you take your second part, which is like the long part with the buttons, lots of buttons, and then you kind of, I don't know, you can kind of just like line up the mouthpiece with the buttons, and then there's also, on this flute, I don't know if it's all flutes, but especially on this flute, there's a couple engravings on both pieces that line up together quite well, so you will have an idea of where the pieces fit together. But yeah, and then from there, take your last little part, and as you can see, so this part right here, this like, I don't even know what you would call it, just like a metal line, that will line up with the metal line on this one. Even though the buttons are going to be opposite, so as you can see, the buttons are on this side on this piece, but are on this side on this piece, you're just going to want to make sure that these little balls right here are lined up. And then, yeah, this is your put together flute right here. Real cool. And then, yeah, you can just like play it. If I could actually, you know, play it. So unfortunately, I don't remember any notes. I really don't remember like a whole lot, which is, oh, sorry, I'm sick. It's kind of unfortunate. Maybe I'll get like lessons or something in the future, but yeah, at least I remember how to put it together. So yeah, and then to take it apart, you just kind of like carefully, very carefully, because these things are very easily damaged, just slide it apart and then put it back. So normally, you know, if you were playing for a long time, sorry, once again, sick, sorry about that. Okay, but, what was I saying? Oh yeah, you would normally take, like, a cloth, and then, like, a plastic, I don't even know what you would call it, like it's like a stick or, like, a baton, just something, but you would, like, put the cloth on the baton and then, like, slide it through the flute, because it gets, like, kind of nasty in there, because you're just, like, breathing into this metal tube, which, you know, I mean, it makes sense, but it's also, like, kind of, like, yeah, you want to, like, be able to clean it, but yeah, so that is a very quick tutorial on how to put together a flute. Yay. To this day, I still feel somewhat apprehensive about music, which is unfortunate because I want so badly to produce music. I shouldn't have let my angsty preteen emotions impede what I want to do with my life, yet I did and I can't change that. The only thing I can change now is to simply start producing music. I already write my own lyrics due to my fascination with lyrics, but what good are lyrics without a tune? However, I've heard that lyrics are, or can be, the hardest part of writing music, so perhaps it's better that I've started with that. Life is perception, and I'm in the process of changing mine. Thank you.